Hello, welcome to Astral Club. My name is Rick. This is a new channel designed to talk about astral projection, and the sole purpose of this channel is to get more astral projectors on the astral plane who currently inhabit physical bodies. I have been astral projecting now since I was a kid. I've now been doing it for 57 years, and I'm tired of being alone out there on the plane, and I want to get more folks out there interacting on the astral plane. In future videos, I'm going to tell you about my time and space travels, my travels to other planets, to other planes of reality. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things. I'm going to be answering your questions about astral projection. And that's a good topic right now. What is astral projection? Well, simply put, astral projection is leaving the physical body in your astral body and traveling the astral plane. Now, that sounds very easy. However, there's a lot of folks who ask me, Rick, how do I know I'm actually astral projecting and not dreaming? So let's address that now. There's really three different major states of being while you're sleeping. The first is typical dreaming. We've all had them. You're at school, you can't remember your gym locker combination, and guess what? You forgot to dress that day and you're butt naked. Luckily, you wake up in a cold sweat and you say, wow, that was just a dream. That's your standard dream. You're unaware of what's really going on. You're living in that moment, and it's completely artificial, created by your wacky brain. Number two, lucid dream. A lucid dream is a dream. It's an artificial reality created by your brain, but your conscious mind is being introduced into the scenario. An example of a lucid dream that I had a number of years ago. I was standing outside the back of my old boyhood home when I realized that I was having a lucid dream. There was a number of people standing by, and I looked at them and said, I am going to bring in a boiling sea, which would be a pretty good trick because at that point in time, I was living in Pennsylvania. Of course, they all laughed. I raised my hand up and I gestured inwards, and all of a sudden this gigantic monster Titanic wave started rushing in, and all the people there were afraid, and I said, be not afraid. I guess I was reading the Bible at that point. And I held up my hand and the wave stopped dead. And there's an example of a little bit of a strange lucid dream. It was artificial, it wasn't real, my brain was creating it, and since I was aware that I was in conscious control of this dream, I could do whatever I want. I could change the reality any way that I saw fit. Third, astral projection. Okay, how is that different? Well, first we're dealing with a level of reality here now. You leave your physical body. You might look back on your bed briefly, see your body laying there, or you may not. It depends on how you're vibrating at the time. At any rate, you understand who you are, where you are, all your normal memories. You can see through your limbs, and you can walk through your door. You can walk outside, launch yourself into the air, and have an experience. And when you return to your physical body, you can remember exactly what occurred. Now, in the astral plane, much like the physical plane, you cannot merely change things by thinking about it. The astral world is a plane outside of your control, much like the physical realm is outside our typical control. I cannot change the furniture in my room in the physical just by thinking about it, nor can I do that in the astral. So those are some of the major differences that will help people understand what's the difference. Am I astral projecting? Am I dreaming? Next, I'd like to share with you an experience that I had. And in this experience, I traveled to the White House. Now, George Bush had just been elected president, and it was his first day in the White House. I came up with an idea for an astral projection. I thought, well, why not just project to the White House and see what George Bush is up to? After all, what can he do about it? He can't stop me. I'm an astral projector. So I left my body and decided to go to the White House and see how he was doing. I arrived at the White House and walked in the main door. I immediately started feeling a very strange, uncomfortable electric field, which I had previously observed in high tension electric lines, high voltage, but I'd never had it in a building before. As I got further towards the Oval Office, the field got worse. Just when I thought I couldn't stand it any longer, I was accosted by two Secret Service agents in astral bodies. Now, that was something that surprised the heck out of me. I was not expecting to be intercepted. They asked me, "What are you doing here?" I mumbled something about, "I think I'm lost," and I got the heck out of there. They stopped pursuing me the moment I left the White House. My theory today is based on what I gleaned from their minds in a quick scan, was that there's some sort of a secret program where Secret Service agents who are volunteers are given drugs and trained to astral project, and they work in shifts, able to stay out of their body for long periods of time because of the drugs that they're given. At any rate, I never went back there again. There'll be a lot more stories in the future. I'll talk about the time I visited an alternate reality and met a daughter that I don't have in this lifetime. I'll talk about a trip where I went back 70 million years and encountered giant crocodilians. And we'll also talk about a journey I had to the end of the earth. Lots of fun things coming up. Some books that people might be interested in who want to learn more about astral projection. My favorite is Journeys Out of the Body by Robert Monroe. I studied at his center in the 1980s, and I consider him the father of modern astral projection. 2, Leaving the Body by D. Scott Rogo. This is an individual who was a scientist, but he had actually astral projected, and he went through the various techniques that I think people looking for actual instruction on how to do it will find helpful. He passed away in 1990 in very strange circumstances that I have some information about, but look for that in the future. And 3, Projection of the Astral Body by Sylvan Muldoon. This is another good book by somebody who actually astral projected. I've seen too many books by people who've read about the phenomena and decided that they're going to become an expert on it. The last thing I'd like to emphasize is leave your comments in the comments section. Ask your questions. I guarantee I will get to them all. Subscribe. In the future, you'll get notifications. Hit that bell. Whenever I post a new podcast, you'll get informed about it. If you want to check me out on Reddit, I'm under the Astral Projection Reddit under Morgoth. That's MORGOTH 37. And there's well over 1,000 comments there now. And I keep up with that as well. Okay, Astral Club, I'm looking forward to working with you in the future and bringing y'all onto the astral plane. Bye-bye now.